Hi all, welcome to another Chess 24 Banter Blitz. It's approaching 11:30 AM. Okay, I'm just waiting for the preview screen to show, and then we'll have a look at the challenges. But before we do that, actually, let's check out this voucher code Kingscrusher. You can get a whopping 15% off. You can get to play the likes of Magnus Carlsen, other grandmasters, but Magnus Carlsen is of course the #1, the world chess champion, super grandmaster. So you can get to play him and tell your relatives, etc. Okay, other grandmasters, international masters, celebrities, and even bunnies like me. So it's well worth it. chess24.com/premium. Okay, let's go onto the game screen and look at the challenges today. Neidorf Master. Let me know if audio and visual is okay. Hi all, welcome to another Chess 24 Banter Blitz. Let's mute that. Okay, E4 to start off with today. Is Neidorf Master here? One, okay, elephants, 2 elephants, 3 elephants. Just make sure I've got the right screen there, haven't I? You're seeing the board, aren't you, guys? Okay, I think we might have to abort this. 4 elephants, that's sad, isn't it? Okay, I think I have to abort this one. Oops. Okay, maybe I've been checking out a London system game actually of Magnus Carlsen, so let's play a London system. I've just been checking it out. It's an interesting game with Bishop F4 that he played recently. So I want to try to emulate the light square provocation strategy. But my opponent is not playing knight h5. I want bishop g5 and bishop h4 to create some light square weaknesses. It's just not happening, is it? Okay, it's not happening. Okay, a4 maybe. My opponent is not very easily provoked into pawn moves, it seems, until here. In fact, e4, I think I might have to go back because knight g5, my knight's stranded. Okay, this is getting a bit strange. Or e4, knight e5. That's more committal. I think I'll go back to e2. So it looks like a reverse French defense with the bishop sort of here instead of here. Maybe that's a good thing in some respects. It means I can at least use a sort of French defense strategy, c4, queen b3 in reverse, to undermine the pawn chain a little bit, as you would do in a French defense. So queen b3. Maybe a5 is useful. Aha. It's going to take off my bishop. a5. Maybe knight f4 and cd at some point. Knight f4. Is knight f4 any good? If I encourage weaknesses with g5, I suppose it would be mission accomplished. Okay, some extra weaknesses. Pawns don't go backwards, as they say. Maybe knight g3, just poking into that f5. G4 might be too risky. H5. Okay. So there's an option sometimes of knight F5. On rook c8, a6 would win that bishop, I think. It doesn't want to play rook c8 because of a6, I believe. Alright, let's have that form pawn there. a6. And can I use this c file? I can't play f3. Yeah, the queen's actually, he's got a point with his queen on d6. Alright, maybe I can get into e5 here. That's interesting. It could pin this knight. But then maybe rook a3 and then going into e5. Or just encourage the exchange of queens, actually. Because I think his e4 is a bit weak. e4 and c6 would be a bit weak. In fact, I think I'm threatening potentially bishop c4 now. Queen goes to d7. Okay. Okay, so is e4 at least dropping off here? I think it is. So that's kind of mission accomplished for the French defense. In reverse strategy, the center has been destroyed a bit, undermined. So g5, there's chronic weaknesses. Knight f6 is threatened to win the queen. Okay, I think I'm taking, because a rook takes c6 looks good. If knight to d4 though, alright, I think I'll take here and take on c6. That looks fair enough. d5, d6. Okay, another pawn here. I'd like to have that a7 pawn. Alright, I'll fix these guys. So I think I'll have a pawn on d7 and bring my king up. Where possible. Right. Okay, I'll give up d7. I'm fighting rook h8 now. So this is a little trick. Yeah, when you play like that sort of rook move. Alright, thanks. Oops, yeah, if I play a bit solidly there with the white pieces. Maybe again, maybe Day of the London system. I've been analysing the game Magnus had against Nippon-Machi. I might be releasing that video on the Kingscrusher channel later. I thought it was fascinating, the provocation aspects of this not playing h3, so I'm just trying to simulate it. If I can simulate anyone playing knight h5. It's curious, no one's really interested in knight h... in this game. Okay, we get it. Because this idea knight d2 is fascinating. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll still play knight d2 here now. This is a bit of research. So the whole point here is, well, I can use f4 as a lever. I found the game against Nepomniachtchi strange and fascinating because he had I thought it was a weak pawn on e3. In some variations, it was shown as a weak pawn. But here, let's see if this lever. Okay, we can these light squares. And let's use this lever. I suppose I'm weakening my dark squares though. Maybe knight c4 to hold e5 would have been interesting. Or e5 and then f5. That's a very interesting concept, but maybe doesn't work. Okay, knight c4 or e5. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll go for it. I think he could take here, but he's fracturing his king a bit. If bishop takes e5. Okay, I think I just want this idea. Knight c4. Whatever it's worth. Knight c4 and queen e2. It is, I know it's an extra pawn, but it's sort of double pawns. I'm thinking that knight c4. I've got pressure on e5, and I've got potential d6. I've got dangerous d6 pawn. You know, queen e2. Actually, I'm threatening the rook. So queen e2. I'm sort of as a threat against the rook. Yeah, he has to move the rook. But is he looking at this? It's a loose piece that should be. You can have loose pieces. They tend to fall off. But here, knight e5, knight c6. Oh, okay. It's tempting. I think I'm going for it. I don't even know if it's still London system classification when it's with knight c3 and not the triangle. A sort of spicier London system. So, okay, queen e2 and rook 81, knight b5, c3, that sort of thing. So I think I do want to play c3 just to blunt this bishop in advance. So c3, rook fe1. Oh, hang on. Did I want to give up d5 there? Maybe it's possible for him to take that. Or is it queen e4? It might be possible. Alright, let's put pressure on e7. I think knight c7 here, and then queen e7 after. Okay, I think queen e7. Okay, so d6. D6 looks plausible. And just try and weaken this control of d7. Try and crash through with d7 rook e8. This pass pawn. So d7. Okay, there's bishop c7, not rook e8 because knight takes. But bishop c7. Looks good. Much stronger than rook e8. Knight takes. Alright. Thanks, Chess Beast. Australia. Austria. No, we can't have increment. Sorry. Just no increment, please. Friedel. Will I be fried by Friedel today? Okay. Here's a big London system player. I'm going to play knight f6. And there's no way out of this. I did have an interesting game, I thought, the other week, where I sort of fianchettoed both bishops. Oh, knight c3. We are playing sort of piance. Okay. Can I do this just to prevent the dark square bishop exchange? Oh, am I being over provocative? I could be. I'm curious. Bishop d7, queen b8. How would this pan out if I just did bishop d7, queen b8? If he did take on e5, he's magnifying my dark square strategy. Bishop h6 later, potentially. I'll try and clamp down on g4. Alright, there's knight c4 here. That's interesting. Looks like knight h5 is going to be tricky. So something like b4, knight a3. Or knight g3. Or b4. I played b4 here. Is that interesting? So I let him take on c4 to take on c3. I don't like the idea that he's got, well, I wouldn't like a self pin, but maybe he's going to go for it. Oh, he does go for it. a5, rook b4. Alright, maybe he's got a point. Okay. Knight g3. Well, I can still do that. Okay, that might dissuade or not. Bishop b5. I'm in trouble. This looks like as though it's trouble. Have I got rook a8 with some play or not? Yeah, this isn't what I imagined. If I get b4 in, there's queen d4. I think my king needs to be put away. Or queen a6. What are you doing to that anyway? Right. Let's just get the queens off. Because my king's a big issue. Uh-oh. It doesn't look good. There's a queen g1. It's left the back row a bit. Queen g1. Let's h5 first. There's always rook e1, unfortunately. Okay. Okay. That's rook c4. If he moves here, I think I have to get behind this pawn. Do I? Uh-oh. I don't think that helps. Yes. Yes, I think he's got me. Played. Very good. I was overrated. I'm still overrated. Thanks so much. Okay, Bogdan, hi there. Okay, let's try this London system again. It's a 3-minute game. So, actually, am I being really dull today? I think I am. But it's only a 3-minute game. It's just a bit of an experimentation with knight c3, actually. It's not the total London system triangle. I just wanted to just test it out for a bit. So, what about knight e5 here? That's an aggressive move. Bishop d3 coming up. Or I think I have to prepare f4 because there's a lot of pressure about to happen. So if I can get to play f4 to support that knight, I suppose it's a bit like Stonewall, well, with a knight on c3. Okay, so knight a4. I don't want to lose a piece to c4. If I played knight e2, there's c4. Alright, so f6, I suppose there's knight g4. Is that? I think there's only knight g4. So knight f2. Huh. C takes, c takes. Is there knight f2 coming up? Will I go back to e5 here? I'll try this. So I take out e4. Does that do anything? I'm just getting a silly position. I don't want a bad structure with. I wonder if I can play knight b2. Yeah. Save the structure. Right. Rook f2. Or maybe I should take that now. Right, so g4. Try and play with this side of the board. Or not. Queen d2. Gives me knight d1. This isn't the most inspiring. Open up this file. Okay, I've got a G file. I think I should cover c3 and try and crawl over here. Rook g2, queen f2. Is there something brewing over there? Okay. So queen h4. Looking at stuff now. c4 hits the queen and the bishop. It's a bit cheeky. But does he queen the pawn after? I'll take it here. Oh, right, okay, that's not a problem then. Okay, back here then. Okay, there's no way to infiltrate at the moment. Ah, okay. What about this knight g4, knight anywhere? I gotta stop this back row stuff. This doesn't look good. Is not rook c1. Oh, this is desperate idea. Oh no! I think it's just a bit quicker. It's going to blow me away. Yeah, it's just totally. Yeah, it's just. Oh, I think I'm asleep today. I feel asleep. Oh, sorry. I've got to play something more interesting as well with the white pieces. This is not good. This is not good. Okay, I think that's the end of the London system experiments. E4. I want to try and wake myself up with E4. Oh, okay. If Teja's around, I've managed to. I haven't had as much coffee as usual. That's not an excuse, but I'm just saying because I tried to put in one of those fillings in earlier, and you can't really eat or drink after. So I'm not caffeinated today. So I feel as if I'm half asleep. So okay. A4, I mean A4, I don't know. A4 has something going for it. Maybe knight b5. Some sort of dynamic thing going on there with knight b5. Okay, I've got the light square bishop. Maybe knight b5. Queen c4. It looks as though this is okay with that bishop. I'm hitting f7. Yeah, I've usually by this time had about 3 coffees. I've just had one today, just the one. Yeah, and I can feel the difference significantly. Okay, so rook d1 or queen f7. I'm a big coffee drinker usually. At the start of the day. Maybe tea in the evening, but at the start of the day, yeah. I like to kickstart things. But okay, so knight b5 here. Is this dangerous at all? Knight b5. I imagine it, might be this A file. It's an intuition there. I don't really know if this. I mean, maybe there's a defense. Maybe it doesn't really threaten much. The queen's over here. The king. It's like another piece to attack with. This is optimistic, is it? I don't know. Just takes the knight. What does he do to defend? What am I actually threatening? I can maybe check and rook d1, winning the queen. So king b8. Okay, maybe it's good. b6 takes rook a8. King takes queen a6. And then queen b7. As an example. Here it's like knight a7, knight c6. Looks crushing on the diagonal. Or winning the exchange, because I don't know, bc queen c6. I don't see how. As it goes back to c8. Maybe it goes back to c8. Okay. It goes there. What about bishop takes b7? Bishop takes b7 for bishop c6 or knight c6. Alright, it's threatening to checkmate me. Okay, I've spotted that, thankfully. So, queen c6 to start off with. And then g3. Okay. I think I'd want to move the queen for knight c6 check. Where does the queen go for knight c6? Does he hit the knight immediately with queen d4? Queen d4, queen a6. Yeah, queen d4, queen a6. Yeah, I think queen d4, queen a6. All right, that should be fun. Well, especially here, queen a6. So friends, knight c6. Just vacated that parking space. All right, thanks for the game, Teja. That was interesting. All right, e4. Patrick. Okay. Solid. So this is popularized by Nigel Short, bishop e2, creating a resurgence of interest in this variation, I think, rather than bishop d3. So there's a slight crampness of the black position, I hope, to tap into here. Knight d2 to f1 to g3. Oh, he's going to checkmate my queen soon, if I'm not careful. Right, I'll go here. So c takes, knight takes. I'm holding e5 and c2. I think I want to make sure my queen doesn't get checkmated. So I'm holding c2 there. Something like c3 coming up. The bishop moves somewhere. c3. There's a bit of a cramp on the development, isn't there? I would hope. Anyway. I wonder if... Okay, so bishop f4, a bit of overprotection of e5. Aha. Do I mind the exchange of queens? So if they b4, try and get the c5 square, that's a small thing. Or maybe, you know, b5, just dissolving the double pawns is interesting. If AB, bishop b5, I'm pinning that knight. This could be, yeah, but, you know, he's got a5, maybe that's not worth it. Okay, so, okay. Is it a target? I don't know. Maybe the pawn should be left like that. All right. What if the pawn should be left like that? So bishop d3. Is that one of his best pieces? To to get rid of. It's an annoying piece. I don't know. It's an annoyance. If he takes the knight g6, bishop g3 coming up. Right, so bishop g3. Well, this sort of binds on the overprotection bind on e5, bit abstract. It means my position's sort of safe right now, safe looking. I hope. Drive this away from e5. So overprotect further e5 relative to the opponent. h5. Okay, so here. Okay, I keep the knight on d4. So I'm just keeping this bind on the position. h5, knight e7, no, knight f5 for a moment. Just trying to keep the bind on the position. Alright, there's a backward pawn here, I just noticed. Hang on, I can tap into this. That could be an exploitable weakness. And it's good that the overprotection spared the rook for usage, holding e5. So now I can do this without losing immediately. Okay. So f4 maybe, is that any good? And then bishop f2, or bishop h4, there's knight c6. On knight c6, I think there's b3 winning the rook, knight d4, b takes. I wonder if he'd be tempted. Is that really setting a trap, or am I just setting my own trap? Yeah, I'm just setting my own trap. I think I need this rook around for the a file. He's gonna blast d4 with knight c6 at this rate. Okay, so this is not looking like an immense amount to play with. This bishop can go on this diagonal. Maybe bishop c5 to d6. Or bishop d4. Bishop c5. I can try and work on that a pawn again, as if potentially there's an exchange sack. Knight d7, bishop d4. I think potentially there's an exchange sack. Or is there? If he just holds on to a6 like that, it's a bit passive. The problem with that, I think I'm just going to build up pressure somehow. Ah. Oh. Okay. Alright, this lets me dissolve and get the A file though, doesn't it? Alright, so hold. Mind you, there's knight b6. I think I'm going to end up sacking the exchange here. Knight a4, I think I have to sack the exchange. I think I made inroads here. So rook b7, rook a7. Well, there's knight b3 potentially on the cards. Can I just slightly improve the position for a moment? Knight c4, rook a2. I just want to play rook b7, rook a7 without this hassle of knight b3. Alright, the rook's on the 7th. Right, thanks Patrick, yeah, you held in there quite a long time. That was great. Okay, CA master. So knight c6 here. Okay, so this is interesting because I think it is a bit like a strange reverse French defense. Where the Greek gift is very likely. Okay. As long as c5 doesn't squish my bishop. Maybe rook h6 to g6. Okay, bishop d7. Rook h6 to g6. Is a sort of in reverse French defense style idea. So rook g6 here. If rook g1, bishop h2. Alright, I'll just put my king over here. If he castles bishop a3 maybe. Possibly, if he doesn't do anything, leaves the king in the centre. Rook e8 is coming up. Alright, here's c5. Okay, c5, bishop e5. With d4 ed, almost. I think I want to play. I probably want to play king g8. Alright, there's bishop a3 here though, isn't there? Bishop a3. Okay, so I'll compress down over here. Okay, knight c5. I see there's a good knight there. Get rid of that knight, annoying knight. This isn't very convincing, is it? There's a backward pawn though on d2. Okay, there's an a file. Might as well use the a file. Okay, actually, rook a2 to c2 is checkmate. I'm still going for that checkmate, common killer square, so to speak. Rook c1, rook f2 threatens knight a2, winning the rook. Actually, knight a2 threat is a checkmate, actually. It's not just winning the rook. No, it's not a checkmate now, but it wins the rook. Okay, yeah, that was tricky. Thanks. Okay, real Frelios. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll play bishop d6. This is grim stuff. Okay, what about f5? I'll try and spice things now with f5. Queen e8 and alright, is he castling queenside? Is that queen, actually, is that queen f6 just to control e5 further? Queen f6. That's interesting. Kind of. I feel some uncertainty of his control of the dark squares. Okay, maybe not now. Okay, is b5 plausible? And maybe bishop d7, knight a4 to c4. Oh, okay. So g4 is coming up. Okay, let's try and get to his king before mine then with b4. b4. Try to get to his king before mine. That, yes, this is the uncertainty I was talking about. It's just uncertain. I'm controlling e5. I think maybe a5, a4, a3 is justified sometimes if I'm not getting attacked immediately. I can't be attacked immediately. Well, not with the knight there because it takes an f3 was loose. Here I can kick this guy back, surely. And then carry on. So g4 takes and then f3. So I'm going to play a4, a3, form pawn strategy, dark square strategy. Let's weaken these dark squares. Hang on, knight f8. I win the queen almost. Knight a2. King c2. No, maybe not. But rook a2 would be interesting as intermediate. Surely. Can he do that? Knight e2 check. Queen takes. Queen a1 check. Bishop b1. Rook takes e2. So knight e2. Now, if he moves the king, just queen takes b2. So I would suspect he takes queen a1 check. There's not too many options. Bishop b1, rook takes e2. Improvement on queen a1. Queen c3, there's queen c3. Bishop c2, rook a1 is checkmate. Queen c3 looks like mating, because if queen c2, rook a1 is checkmate, if bishop c2, rook a1 is checkmate, if king b1, queen a1 is checkmate, if king d1, rook a1 is mating. I think queen c3 is more accurate than queen a1. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's mating that. Thanks. Okay, Patrick. Yeah. So, right here, intriguing. I think b6 is plausible in this particular circumstance. So knight g4. It's a magnifier, you know, when the guardian bishop is taken out of the equation, it's sort of magnifier, I would say, for the dark square weaknesses, like a magnifying glass on that. And as well as more pawns. If there's more pawns on light squares, like there's an extra pawn on c4 here, then there might be. So I would regard them as sort of magnifiers for a sort of provocation strategy. If you want to weaken dark squares, those sort of magnifiers, I think they're interesting to consider. So rook h6 or g5. G5, knight h6, g4. I think this is quite crude but effective. I think I just played g5 here, knight h6 and g4. I don't think white's got that much quick counterplay here. So g5, knight h6 and g4. Look, fb1. Okay. Is my attack too slow? If I just play like this, knight h6 and g4, it doesn't matter about the a pawn. Knight h6, g4, does that crash through? I want to use the g file. Well, something's going to open up here. Is it the H file or the G file? Which one is it going to be? H file or G file? Oh, okay. Okay. There's H4 coming in. Right, so how much counterplay is there? Yeah. There's a check, king f8. I don't think there's that much. I would hope there isn't that much. If takes here, knight e3 wins the queen. Queen a4, king f8. Knight f2, queen f2, knight d3. Knight f2, king f2, hg. Knight g3, queen h4, rook g1, h2. That looks a bit dangerous where's my king in all this? Knight d6, king f8. Is h2 doing anything? That's the other thing. h2, king h1. There's knight d3 from knight f2. I mean, that's dangerous. If knight h2, king h2, hg, fg, rook h8. Okay, so here. I think just this for knight e3 looks. Is that convincing? Maybe it's. It might not be. No, wait. Queen f2. I think there's queen h4 here. If knight d6, king f8. If queen e3, rook g3. If king h1, rook g3. Okay. There's a small matter of knight takes d3 here coming up. If queen e3, rook g3. So yeah, if knight d6, king f8. If king h1, rook g3. Alright, here rook g3 surely. Oh, fascinating. Queen e4. Alright, thanks, Patrick. Okay. You must lose to this Bose. Okay, that doesn't sound promising. Okay, he scared me to play the English opening. Or something solid here. Is that really bad if I have double pawns? I'm going to find out. If I play d takes, isn't there? No. What if I took and just, knight b5? Isn't that interesting? Maybe, immediately bishop c7. Maybe. I wonder if bishop c7 works. Rook d7, bishop e6. Rook a6. Is that bishop trapped? Bishop c5? Maybe it's not trapped. Maybe bishop c7 is on the cards. Alright, so a4. A4, what's it got going for it? Bishop c7. Does he play rook a6? I need to test this. Does he actually play rook a6 or knight d7? Okay. A4 looks like a stabilizing, sensible move actually. Okay. I'm not really sure. All right. Am I wrong about that? Have I just created a liability on a4? I might have done. Ha! 95. Was my rook going to be killed here? Okay, this could be very, very unpleasant, I can imagine. Bishop f3, is that doing anything? Can I get the chance to play e4 around here without being exterminated? I think I've got something on b7. Takes knight d2, bishop b7. All right. Yes, this doesn't look very clever to lose f3 like this. Bishop c7 there. D5 coming up. Somehow this is looking interesting all of a sudden. In fact, there's also, yeah. No, I thought just bishop takes f3 was there with a winning position for black. I was expecting just bishop takes f3. It does seem the engine likes it. There's no problem here. Yeah. And yeah, that was okay. I'm going to try out something I've been checking out a little bit this week. If I can get it, Scotch Gambit. I think it's one of the more respectable gambits. But I think the problem is everyone knows it. I think everyone knows it inside out. But anyway, I'll give it a go. Scotch Gambit. There's a Goering Gambit, the O with the thingy on the O, with c3, and then the standard sequence is actually a double pawn sack. But the Scotch is a safer relative, I believe. So controlling black's d5 liberating move as well for the moment. I think I just want to play it like a Smith-Morra Gambit here with c3. Actually, not indulge the complicated stuff. I wouldn't mind just leading development with promise of a pin on the f6 If the bishop has to go back, it's losing a bit more time. So unless he's going to play knight e7 and to avoid this pin potential, I think this is a good looking pin coming up. Unless knight e4 here. Okay, it depends how much initiative or not I get here. Is there going to be any initiative? That's the question. Knight e4. Maybe knight e4, cd, d5. I don't know what I'm going to get here now from this. It might not be anything. D5 maybe. Bishop g5. If f6, well, if I'm prompting f6, then that looks very interesting for knight h4, fg, queen h5, king f8. Well, it's a lot of fun, isn't it? f6. Black be materialistic. Maybe knight d4, fg, knight f5. I think I've gone into mega unsound territory. Yeah, but maybe it's fascinating. Knight c4, queen g4 is okay. G takes, queen g4, king h8. Queen g4 here. Wouldn't I have d6 and knight f5 coming up? I'll blunt this bishop, so I want to have knight f5 and bishop g7. Or maybe not. Am I just losing my bets? That's a bit unfair. Try and double the rooks at least. F4 for rook e8. Yeah, really. Sleep by the bell here, I think. If anything. Yes. That was really unsound of me. Oh, got carried away. Well played, yeah. Well, that seemed very logical defence. I just went crazy there. No, yeah, the Scotch Gambit dreams all crashing down. It's just good. It's Blitz. You can try this stuff in Blitz. That's why you can try this stuff in Blitz. Yeah, okay. Anyway, sorry. Well played. Yeah, that was all wiped out. I was getting wiped out, rubbed out, erased, pieces erased. Martin. Is okay. Okay, we better report here and come to the next game. Goggin Paul. Okay, so Goggin, is he around? 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have that. 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's 4. One, 2, 3. Okay, got a game. D5 coming up. Is D5 going to go try and get F5? Did I miss a shot with D4 just then? I think I might have missed a shot, you know. Oh, why didn't he take it on D5? Ah! Okay, right. Okay, well played. Okay, nice one. Exciting. I'll take the D pawn here. Castling queenside. Oh, hang on. This is interesting. Because knight d5, knight c3. No, I don't think that's anything. Okay, I'll play bishop e2 for a moment. But knight d5 could be dangerous because queen e6, knight c7, or later. As I was looking at the video just yesterday, someone was going on about Vishnanand's quickest loss, and it was to do with, he didn't actually say that it was to do with knight d5 in the end. He kind of missed that. So I think Vishnanand had copied someone's preparation and lost in 7 moves, but the mechanics of it, the reason why queen e2, there wasn't queen e7, it's because of knight d5. Because if queen e6, knight c7, it was like that. But yeah, it wasn't sort of mentioned. I thought this at St. Louis, they didn't mention that. Okay. So casting queenside here might be dangerous. Or I don't know if it's queen b5 or knight e5, queen b5. Let's start with queen b5. See what the reaction is to this. Is there a weakening move or something? Queen a5. Alright, can I just take on a7? Yeah, that looks good. So knight e5 coming up. Knight e5 makes queen a8. Checkmate. So I think I want to play knight e5 first. Do I? There's no rook a6. Okay, so I think I will play knight e5. So queen a8 present. Or queen b7. But faster is queen a8. So I'm just going to take away that escape square, d7. Oh, what's this? That's a bit of a shocker. Alright. Alright, thanks for the games. Next week, I think I'm going to come with more coffee next week. Alright, I'm going to be more caffeinated next week. Sorry about this week. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Okay, see you next week. Thanks very much. Thanks very much.